Welcome to World of Marketing Podcast, a Foster Web Marketing production. Here's your host, Tom Foster.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Marketing, where I talk with industry leaders about marketing mindset and business growth. This episode is brought to you by my own company, Foster Web Marketing. Foster Web Marketing is dedicated to providing cutting-edge, highly customizable websites, marketing, video, and strategic solutions specifically designed for law firms, medical practices, and other professional service businesses. Our award-winning marketing and system solutions sets us apart from everyone else. Please visit our website at fosterwebmarketing.com if you want to know more. Today, my guest is Craig Weatherly. Craig is one of FWM's top digital marketing specialists with over 20 years of experience in digital marketing. He's a self-educated strategist who keeps up with the latest trends by digging in and fine-tuning paid ad campaigns. Whether he's spying on competition, weeding out negative keywords, or adding better converting search terms, he stays busy. He monitors massive PPC campaigns for a variety of FWM lawyers, doctors, and other businesses. So Craig, thank you so much for being on the World of Marketing with me today. I know you're a busy guy working with the clients, but thanks so much for joining the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Tom. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. And you are in Arkansas, which is a state I have never been to and I am dying to go to.
Well, come on down and I'll show you around. Lots of lakes, mountains, hills, beautiful country.
I know, right? And like you love to fish with Greer's Ferry Lake, right? That's yes. Your place?
Beautiful, beautiful lake.
So tell me about how you got started.
Well,
are you from Arkansas?
Yes.
So yes. Tell me your background.
So I around year 2000, I met a guy in Memphis who started his own hair product for me, and started, telling me how he was getting his customers. What he was doing online, and I really didn't even understand online at the time.
Right.
He really, showed me the process and using keywords. And this was back when, you use 7 keywords and, that's,
right. I remember.
I was very, very intrigued by what he was doing, almost obsessed. Got my first computer, started learning from there, got into graphics design. And I actually started a school at New Horizons Computer Learning Center in North Little Rock. A few months the school closed down. What am I going to do? I just got a student loan. They closed down. I'm on my own. They didn't care what happened to us. So that I began my journey with teaching myself everything and anything that I could about marketing, and kept moving forward with that. And a group of kennel owners, English Mastiffs, miniature Schnauzers, just a big group of them wanted websites and started developing in that nature, and started, that's where I first found Web CEO.
Right, Web CEO, right.
And I believe they were in Europe at the time. They weren't even, didn't even have an office over here, if I remember correctly. And that's where I continued forward, and about, 4 or 5 years later, I started my first pay-per-click campaign. And that was with a flag and banner company. A lot of work, a lot of keywords, a lot of, headlines, and saw great results while doing that for a year or so, and soon got into the automotive industry. Very competitive. Really started understanding how site links work, and getting conversions using site links. And from there, I became an independent contractor for myself, working with tourist companies, mainly out of New Orleans. And I did
tourist
that.
Companies. That's
Tourists,
right.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Like swamp tours.
Swamp tours,
plantations, right? Yep.
City
right.
bus. And here comes COVID. And the first city to close down was New Orleans. As I'm saying, COVID came around, and literally, Tom, 75% of my income gone. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of eggs in that basket, and I was wondering what I was going to do. You know, where do I go from here?
Mm-hmm.
And I applied on Indeed, and Jamie Kelly reached out to me, and here I am with Foster Web Marketing over a year later.
Jamie Keller used to work here at Foster Web Marketing, and that's who hired Craig. And Craig, you've been doing digital marketing here for us for a bit. How long now?
I started December 2021.
Yeah. Well, and you've been a great addition to the team, and our clients appreciate you and everything that you do. So like PPC is a complicated ecosystem, let me just say, world, that many pretend to know. They pretend to be experts and claim to be experts, but most of them are not. Would you agree with me?
I would definitely agree with you, especially with some of the accounts that we've taken on here lately. New clients that may have had another company managing their PPC for them, and I get it in my hands, and there's no way this was working. No wonder they're really.
Yeah, and I want to just set this up with this comment, because I come from, and you and I have talked about this many times, because I come from pre-pay-per-click. Pay-per-click. I am no fan of pay-per-click. No fan. Everybody knows that about me. I understand it's a necessary evil of marketing and advertising, and I understand how it works, and I understand it, and I appreciate it, but I'm no big fan of it. Like, I'm all about organic. You know me, right? I love the organic piece. That's why I built DSS. That's why I built the system, all about search, free search. Let me type in my search. Then they built pay around it. And that just made me, ugh. So that's what pay-per-click is to me. And then I watched as a bunch of clowns tried to take advantage of everybody. And they do, and they still do. And that's what you're saying. That's what frustrates me about it now, is that so many web marketing companies take advantage of lawyers and doctors in particular.
Absolutely, Tom. And they will, they will build these campaigns and set it and forget it.
Yep.
A lot of times the clients don't know that
they don't know, because they don't know what questions to ask. They don't know what to do. They're embarrassed to ask the questions because they don't know what question, and they're embarrassed because they don't know what questions to ask. And they're lawyers and doctors, and they're smart. And it's tough. It's tough to be a position to be in, and that's why they get ripped off left and right.
Right, because they have high, their budgets are rather, high. We have some that are spending $15,000 a month, for 3 campaigns. They're very serious about those 3 practice areas. So Yeah, it's. I think it's just even worse once they realized how much money they spent and how many conversions they did not get.
So I'm going to ask you a question. What are some common mistakes to avoid when setting up a pay-per-click advertising campaign for lawyers or doctors? And how can these mistakes impact the effectiveness of the campaign?
One of the biggest mistakes, I would say, is how they set the campaigns up with the keywords and key phrases. Sure, I can go out there and set all of my keywords and key phrases to broad match. It's going to throw me all over the place for my competition. If I've got a car accident lawyer and I have a broad phrase or broad match, it could give me a click for another personal injury lawyer because it showed up in the search because they're also an injury lawyer as well. Well, they were searching for this attorney, but they clicked on my ad because I'm listed with them. They weren't paying attention. They just clicked on it. They want to make a phone call. All of a sudden, I'm getting phone calls for other attorneys out of my practice area, and it can really overwhelm the intaker at a law firm and get them upset right away. So I take a little different approach where I already have a blueprint for, say, personal injury lawyer, car accident, truck accident, even Uber accident. And I already have my blueprint to know what keywords to use as phrase and exact. I don't even use broad match. I get very direct.
Very specific.
Exactly. That way.
Well, that's because that's what people are doing now. And that's how you have to be. Text to speech. That's people are talking into their phones. It's all about mobile, right?
That's right.
Exactly, because you're on the cutting edge.
Exactly. So I like to start out that way. One, I'm not digging into these negative keywords all the time. My search terms aren't negative type keywords that I have to look through and put them into my negative keywords, where I'm looking at very specific matches and I want to see if they're converting or not.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about what's going on now is how efficient Foster Web Marketing can be in setting up these campaigns in the beginning. I want to concentrate on landing pages. I want to concentrate on content. I want to know their thoughts, spend time discussing these things with the clients versus spending an hour because I've got 75, 100 negative keywords that I need to put into the system.
Right. It's more about the conversion, right?
It's all about the conversion.
It's more about the conversion, and it's more about answering the question. Always. That's the detail that you're talking about. What are these people really asking? Then these broad, it's back to the basics again, Craig.
I know.
That's the pitfall that everybody falls into, though, that they always go for the broad keywords. Always.
Well, and I think it's because you immediately start getting clicks. You probably even start getting conversions.
Yep.
These conversions are probably not going to lead to a signed case.
Right. It's a false profit. It's like it tricks you. How can PPC advertising help lawyers and doctors target specific geographic regions and demographics? And what strategies are most effective in doing so?
Well, it's very important to get into the analytics in the beginning to see where the clicks are coming from. Okay, so that's
organically?
Organically, even, yes.
Oh, so you're like, you need to know, like, before you even get into like buying ads, you need to know organically what's going on with the website. Interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to let me know
everybody.
Yeah. Yes, it's going to let me know my hotspots for that practice area.
Yeah.
What I like to do then, especially with I have one going now with the nursing home attorneys of abuse, neglect. Well, there's like 3 areas in that state that are really, really hot. They get bid adjustments. if say I'm getting conversions in a certain area and it's only costing me $3-4 a click, I may jump that click up to $10, depending on where I'm at with competition. Looking at my auction insights, how many impressions what kind of impression share am I getting? Mm-hmm. How many times am I at the top of the page? How many times am I at the very top of the page? These are all the things I look at to really start dealing with the locations and demographics. Once things start going through and we get conversions, then I really start looking at the demo and who I need to keep, who I may want to, especially age ranges. Income is hard to, sort out and keep a certain type of income out of the campaign because you never know. A good case, I don't think someone has to have a lot of money to really get a good case going. If the attorney is very confident in their case.
That brings up my next question. What are some of the key metrics to track and analyze when monitoring the performance of a pay-per-click campaign? And how can this data be used to optimize the campaign?
Yeah, and I always keep an eye on the auction insight to see how the campaign measures up, to the competition, and that's where I would go into the auction insights. Yeah. And it's all about the conversions again. What is converting, but it's who is our competition, who is not our competition, and one of the key metrics when I'm building these campaigns. And we've been going for about, a week or two, and I'm just seeing a few competitors in my auction insights. I'm on the wrong track. There should be 10. I should be listed with all of the competition. My impression share, I want it over the competition, but you don't want to blow away the competition because then your budget's just not going to allow that.
Right.
So, judging my impressions, judging my position is everything. And what I don't like to just leave my budget open for Google to manage.
You got to manage it. You got to stay on top of it. You got to be like watching it, and that's the key is the watching the metrics, right?
Absolutely, because a lot of our clients, they're not spending $1,000 a day. If we were spending $1,000 a day, okay, I'm all right with Google charging me $75 for this click. A click that would convert or may convert. We're usually dealing with around $300, $400 a day campaigns. I've got to be careful. You got, if I'm getting over $25 a click, I hope it's converting, and I will, look at it closely to see if it does. But I don't like to put myself or the client in that position to let them, think that they're only going to get the 5 or 6 clicks and they paid $25 per.
Right.
I would rather narrow that down to open up for more impressions, more clicks, more of opportunity to get a conversion.
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. More exposure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but what are some best practices for writing compelling ad copy for PPC ads targeted at potential clients in the legal or medical fields? And how can these stand out? How can our ads stand out from the competitors?
What I love about Foster, we have great content writers. Mm-hmm. I don't have to search a whole lot. We have so much good information on our websites. I build the landing pages from the information that I already have.
Oh. So you build a landing page. This is good, folks. You build the pay-per-click landing page from the organic content that already is there.
Absolutely. I don't like to have a lot of scrolling in my landing pages. I like them to be rather short. Mm-hmm. So I've implemented into all landing pages expandable rows. So we can have a topic, they click on it, and And then it, opens up, gives you all the information you want. I use about 3 to 4 topics per page. Obviously, the main topic first, what kind of cases we handle, what type of injuries, things like that. Makes an excellent landing page. Very low bounce rate, which is huge and very difficult to achieve with pay-per-click.
Yeah.
That's to stand out from competition. I just like to write good headlines. It's all
you gotta have good headlines, compelling.
We look the same by each other, but who says the right message? And that's what I like to really drill down. And it's another reason I go to Google Analytics, and I do my secondary drill down with my content and which headline was number 1 when you clicked on this ad. Very, very good stuff.
So how does budgeting and bidding work for pay-per-click? How does it work? Like, how do you do that and what factors should be considered when setting a budget? How should lawyers look at this? How
they should not look at it is want to take over the world right off the bat. It's just not, I like to start with 3 main practice areas, put 3 ad groups with those campaigns, and, budget accordingly. Put $100. If you're spending $300 a day, put $100 on each of those campaigns and start working it from there. Once they start getting conversions, Craig, I like what's going on. Let's raise the budget a little bit and see where we can go with that. That's what I like.
Walk, run. Right? Crawl, walk, run. Like, exactly. That's the way to go. Like, first set up a little bit, like test it. That's good advice, Craig. And that's exactly what, that's how we operate, is like, no. Like, you need to pull back. Like, a lot of times as you said, we take on clients that have come from somewhere else and they've got these ridiculous pay-per-click campaigns and budgets going on that is just bleeding them and bleeding them dry, unnecessary. And they could do it for a fraction of that. And they should be. And it would be converting much better. And we end up turning it all around. Right?
Absolutely. And, we have different plans now, small, medium, and large packages. And when these clients coming over, they're seeing this, it's a no-brainer to them, as far as our management fee and how much money we're going away without.
We charge differently than other companies do. We don't charge. Yeah. We charge a management fee. We don't charge based on your spend.
Right. Their spend is their spend.
Your spend is your spend.
Yes.
All of it goes to whoever. Right.
Yes. It's all in, whatever their budget is goes straight into the pay-per-click campaigns.
Right.
That's it. 100% transparency, Tom. One of the reasons we brought on this new reporting system, it does make it easier to understand.
Right.
Do a lot of clicking, it's just all in one form, and it'll add their organic and their paid ads all in one form. So they have it all in front of them that change in real time.
Very good. Well, Craig, thank you so much for talking to me and talking to us about pay-per-click and answering those questions about it. There's some other things that I forgot to mention early on that I wanted to mention about Craig, everybody. Is that Craig builds custom guitars. And obviously that is something that he and we both love guitars. So we have that in common. You don't even have them showing. I thought you might have some showing in your background or something, buddy. I'm still waiting for my special FWM guitar. Look at that. There's one. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that. He made that himself.
I didn't cut the body out. Somebody else cut the body, but the rest
You make your own guitars. That is the coolest thing. Makes his own electric guitars, folks.
So, Tom, I've got to show you. I have to show you my favorite since you brought it up. This is my black.
Wow.
This is really sharp. This one sounds the
That
best.
is beautiful.
Fun stuff. And Tom,
That is great.
I'm getting back at it too. So
That's good. Well, I'm going to put my order in for my FWM guitar. Because I want one. It has been wonderful having you. We had some internet issues, but we made it through. There was a lot of valuable content that you gave us. I appreciate you. Our clients appreciate you saving us from Google sucking all of our money out of us. Right?
Absolutely.
Just what it should. Not all of it, just what it should. So Craig, thank you so much, buddy. Everybody, it's been Tom and Craig on the World of Marketing. We will see you soon. You take care.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Tom.